Hey everyone, I decided I'm going to do a review over my Shapeoko 5. I bought a 4 foot by 2 foot model and it is absolutely amazing. It is a great machine. Now, I have some issues, so let's get started. Number one issue I think is that I think Carbide is trying to push these machines out too fast and they are leaving some loose ends. One big loose end I have found is the loose screws. They have got loose screws all over them. And I am talking about loose screws that hold the motors on, loose screws that hold the Z on. I tightened every single one of these screws, every one of them. They were all loose. I tightened these screws here. This is the motor you bolt the motor on during assembly, but I had to tighten all of these screws. Now, you also align this and need to move this over during assembly, so that coupler gets moved. But that being said, that coupler right there doesn't get moved, and none of the, not none, 3 of the set screws that are in this assembly right here aren't on the flat part of the shaft. They weren't even close to the flat part of the shaft. So I loosened all those up and I put all of those on the flats of the shafts. That is a quality control issue. That is a big issue. They need to be that way. So I went and I checked both of my X-axis motors, stepper motors, and then I made sure that I did it right on my Y stepper motor, and then on my Z stepper motor, I checked it. So check all of the screws because there's a lot of loose screws. I had a broken connection here in this wire loom, and it was for this proc sensor, and so I tried making it work. It worked for a minute, or no, it's for the motor. It worked for a minute, and then it started shorting out. So I just cut the wires and wired them together solid. So, and it's worked perfect since then. So it's not a big deal. But that was an issue. I could have called Carbide, and I'm sure I would have had another connector within a day or so. So it's not that big a deal. This machine is a lot louder than the 3. Just moving it is louder than the 3, and so be prepared for that. The wire loom in general, I think the wire loom in general is an extreme rat's nest mess. There's what mine looks like, and I did the best I could to try to tidy that thing up and make it look better than it did. They do give you a channel to run this in on the back of the machine that doesn't stay closed. It's an okay channel, but it just does not stay closed. And then I ran it up this because I mounted my control board up here above the machine. I know most of you are going to mount it below the machine on a table that rolls around your shop. I wanted to build it into my workbench, and so I didn't want all that below there. I wanted it up here where I could see it, but that turns it into this wire mess. Not real proud of it. Trust me, it's not my finest work, but it's got me up and running, and I keep making more and more changes to it to make it better. The ability to change home in the software. Home is over there now, and it used to be in the middle, and now it's clear over there. So when I set up my machine and I'm here, and this drawer here, it has all of my bits and stuff in it, which is where this is going to go when it gets done. Then I have to roll clear over here. I know, first world problems, but I have to roll clear over here to change a bit every single time. So it's kind of a pain in the ass. I wish you could change home to put it wherever you wanted it, but you can't. So I don't believe you can anyway. I wish you could control the dust collection with this machine. I had a spindle before, and I had one of them things that you put in the electrical outlet, and when you turned it on, then the vacuum would turn right on. Well, now that I have a spindle, I have no way to turn the vacuum on. So I just bought a Christmas tree or Christmas light remote control, and I just turn it on and off like that. I know it's not that big a deal, but it's just kind of a pain. You forget to turn it on, and yeah. Anyway, maintenance on this thing. Maintenance is huge on this. Keeping these ways oiled and this ball screw oiled is a huge deal. So I don't know why they tell you that they want you to use mobile Vectra number 2, and the only way you can buy mobile Vectra number 2 is to buy a 5-gallon jug of it, and that's $168. Well, I'm not going to go probably through that much in my lifetime. So you could buy a 32 ounce from some guy in Ohio, you know, and I bought this. I know that this isn't approved, but it is ISO 60 food grade clear synthetic lightweight oil. It is basically the same thing, and it's what I'm going to probably be using on my machine. I just think that they should give you a little bottle, a 2-ounce bottle of it, and send it with the machine. Also, there's my Loctite. So when I put all these screws back in here, then tightened everything up, I Loctited them with blue Loctite, so it is removable. I think that it would be awesome to have this bit 0 connection. I know that it's cool that it's right here, and that's sweet. But then I have this cord laying all over the machine. I wish you could put it right here on the Z-axis. You know, you could run with those wires there. You could just run the bit setter up here somewhere and plug it in up here, and then have like a 2-foot wire or whatever, or a 12-inch wire, and then you wouldn't have all of that hanging down in front. Pauses between the operations seems like a long time. It's like this thing has to think a lot more than the 3 did. The 3 just went to work right away, and this thing here pauses in between operations. So I'm pretty sure it's this and not Carbide motion. So that's kind of weird, but it's kind of annoying, but it's not really that big a deal. And then for my spindle, I will be buying more collet nuts and collets, just so that I don't have to change the bit out of the collet every time. That was the cons. The pros. Okay, the pros are pretty big. I love the gantry lighting. The gantry lighting is so sweet. That's amazing. The machine itself is bigger than you expect it to be. This thing's gigantic. I ordered the 2-foot by 4-foot, and it will literally cut 2-foot by 4-foot, 100%, no doubt about it. That's a big cut for me. I didn't want to get the 4x4 because I didn't want that thing sticking clear out into my shop. So that's why I got the 2x4, and it's going to be plenty big enough for me. That's for sure. The spindle, obviously, that can be put on any machine, kinda, but absolutely having a spindle is amazing. It turns on and off with the computer, and I don't have to think anything about that. So it turns it on and does the speed. So it's pretty sweet. The power pendant. The power pendant's a great addition. I love it. I wish the cord was a little longer so I could mount it out front here. But as it is, it's awesome. You can hit this red button and it shuts down the power. You can hit this. This is just stops the cut. So it's like a pause button. So that's really pretty sweet. And assembly of this thing is very simple. It's crazy how simple they made this thing. My biggest problem was the wire loom. We already talked about that. Getting the wires in the right spot, getting that thing mounted up high enough that the machine doesn't hit it. That was my biggest problem. Other than that, the actual assembly of this thing is so straightforward. It's very straightforward. And Kevin Barnett's video is a great video, so go ahead and watch that. Watch it 3 times, watch it 4 times, whatever. I had it playing while I was assembling this. He told me to do something. I paused it. I went and did it. Came back, hit the pause button again, and watched the next step. That's literally, and I also had the PDF on my computer. So between those 2 resources, you can't go wrong. The hybrid table's amazing. I love it. The Sweepy is got pros and cons. Pros is it's a great addition. I love it. I had it on my 3 as actually, but it was the older version. This one's a little bit nicer, newer. It comes with these adapters here, and it comes with the without the brush on it. It comes with the bottom without the brush, and then you also have that adapter. They work great. My adapter doesn't work so sweet because of my setup, but I'm getting it. It's getting good. I already mentioned the gantry lighting. It's amazing. Bit setter, the new bit setter design is awesome. So it's great. I love the fact that it's right here. It's integrated into it. The wiring's integrated into it, so you can't catch that wire. It's a awesome design. So it's everything about the bit setter is awesome. The spindle router mount. This thing is so beefy and amazing. And then you also have this accessory mount, which is for lasers or whatever. This thing is just a badass mount. It is solid aluminum and it holds that spindle like nobody's business. I don't even ever worry about that spindle going anywhere. It's sweet. The green emblem, I know it's kind of stupid, but whatever. I love that green emblem and that it lights up when the machine's on. It's pretty cool. It's just a neat little touch that they did. And so the packaging that this thing comes in, they actually took amazing amount of time to package this machine. So it should come to you, like I said, relatively undamaged. I had a broken connector. Basically it was like that connector right there was broken. So I just hardwired those wires. It's not that big a deal. The packaging is just amazing. So, you know, this machine is well worth the money. It's got a few little bugs, and then people are making some you know, some comments on the Shapeoko Facebook pages about the little bugs, and it does have some bugs, and there's some learning curve to a machine, no matter what machine you buy. But this machine is built like a brick crap house, and I can't say enough good things about it. It's going to be used a lot in my shop. So if you're going to ask me, I'm going to say buy one. They're amazing pieces of equipment. As for anything else, I think that's all I've got for today. And I appreciate you watching the video. Shapeoko 5 Pro. This thing is amazing.